Nana Kujua Bam, a communication team member, national, the ma NDC, Amanyokono, Bababeka, and some of her, and Jibiana Benjamin Asari, the youth organizer for Trouble constituency on the ticket of the MPP, and so ever cancer. Nana, morning.
Minadachi, morning.
Bokodi.
Yamiado Boko, na wapo mwe.
Yamiado, yes, you
Yamiasi. And I pay Minchao na Minchao producers. Na Yamba Mabaso for Ejuma Mudimo my Ghana. Na Edi Obi Mizuno, Minchia Ghana for, and yet here for Muti and Anapay. Na Minfenchi more Densuma Ghana man penny. That's it. Let me share the foreign minister. We share from Tuesday back the landmark resolution you achieve or the international stage now. I think the president deserves commendation because idea it has been on the table for quite a long time, but in successive presidents, nobody has been able to take such a significant step. President Mahama taking yet table the Atlantic slave trade. They are classified as one of the gravest sins or crimes against humanity. A table before the UN Assembly. Omaji resolution atimu. Osha 123 countries voted in favor of the resolution. 3 abstained and 52. 52, no, I think it's the entire European countries, they abstained. And of course, you would understand why most of them decided to abstain. Now, you see, I've heard some arguments by some people in some quarters say it is an avenue to get money. But resolution, that is not the basic way. As somebody can say, there were some artifacts almost taken away in the course of the slave trade. Mm-hmm. So we are demanding one, an unqualified apology for the atrocities committed against our people. Mm-hmm. Then 2, also demanding that those artifacts must be returned. Recently they returned some to the Asante Kingdom. Mm-hmm. But what we are saying here is that it should not be returned on the basis of their own whims and caprices. This time it's a demand that all those artifacts must be returned. Artifacts and abusum per se. Now that say I don't know if I show you so
until after 100 years.
So it means
after years,
and they still have some of them. Yes, until somebody buy
Angel America sent Abia Abusum no Befako, and Modi Bao on Wakadi.
Okasa Abusum, name the Abusum.
Hey,
these are artifacts representing our culture. Meaning, say a culture of an Abusum, I don't know.
And
these are cultural artifacts. What is Abusum? It is somebody's way of worship. My way of worship is through Christianity, but that is somebody's also way of worship. And the day we don't know the truth. Then we also saying
how the bed then.
But just they are our culture this thing. And look like to Mr. Vaz tourist attraction. I may invite tourists into the country. I may generate form of income for us. Then we also say we are going to set up a fund. So our fund, reparations they should pay that money into those accounts. And as a government, we are going to use it for developmental projects.
Now, people make the arguments. Yachi slaves in our corner. And yes, we are broken. Yeah, the merchandise no more at that time. Yeah, only a ton, when Jadentina or more mouton, yeah, the marbro, when the moon conquer questions and bro.
That's it. As argument, we know, Ebano, Dr. Callistus Mahama, Secretary to the President, he has written extensively on this issue. The first question you be say, which people set up the systems? Systems now encourage slave trading. Which people put up those systems? And which people benefited significantly from those systems? Yes, we are not discounting the angle of what culpability on our side, but those who benefited from the system significantly, won't me apportion the blame equally. What I say, I don't think that is the argument. Say we've contributed in one way or the other. Anthony Yenja Omo. Galamsey is ongoing. Our people are involved. Does that mean say foreigners in the Chinese for now? Omo ye involved. Galamsey no. Yachi Omo Yenja Omo na. Is that the argument being made? Say our people were involved in the menace, but the systems were put in place, were deliberately put in place by what? Somebody. And some conform put those systems in place. They benefited significantly because almost shipping conform. Yes, almost shipping conform. Almost they were working on what? Plantations, and they were not paid for. And we say, Obi, my friend, the philosopher Ken. One of the greatest reggae artists, Joseph Hill, Kwacha, was say, you see, they worked in these plantations with what? Getting no pay. Zanen way payday. When would the payday be? Okay, or say the forefathers, they worked in these plantations, of course, by getting no pay. And so those are the things we are demanding. Those who profited and benefited from the system must pay reparations. And so want to make us say, yes, me know a studio have Bonesi, BBSC. What I say? That does not mean say me are guilty of sad and change will not go scot free.
And giving ourselves the next 100 years ahead of time, the generation after us will also come and say, oh, and yes, some time ago, Chinese for no Ghana. In fact, said to Galamsey say you need a forest near the idea, and so good, and so they should also pay reparations to us.
If there's evidence, and indeed there's evidence, and they are justified, they can make that call.
And you forgetting that Chinese
before a Chinese for a banu, Galamsey never hanu, you're from Kolikolino.
Now,
I saw the shovel no more, but the Chinese introduced excavators.
And I'm saying, why not the assassin? And I'm
say they have put in place the systems.
Which system?
System is almost the Kabasha trade in the
wait,
and by human nature, I dare be this Kabasha. Definitely there will be demand.
So you made a decision. You made a choice.
What I say?
You
there
made
was
a choice.
Demand added.
You made a choice that Uber Jisikan and let this one go. So it is a choice that you made in the olden times. The people who came made a choice. Our people, in fact, when they came, we
are not saying say our people were not involved. We've acknowledged that fact. But are you telling me, sir? Are you telling me, sir, because our people were involved, we should allow them to go scot free?
But first of all, before the answer till
we have acknowledged that fact.
Answer na obe acknowledge those facts.
Yes.
We acknowledge we.
Yes.
Fantastic. Nipa na sebi what ton we no e de ma asumesi no. What ton nipa no what nipa na okita we no. But the ton we need the obe channel.
Person be saying. Yeah, acknowledge the fact.
Acknowledge na say a friend. Yeah, so mudi ko enso yes acknowledge. But I'm saying say if you are talking about reparation,
we are talking about the benefits. The benefit they got from the trade.
Yes.
That's it.
But those who also sold also had the benefit.
The kind of industries. And I'm
saying
the kind of plantation. The kind of atrocity, rape, any the torture. My name is Wako Danger Cape Coast da. Room Daniel friend Danger. I don't know whether you've been there before.
I've been there.
Papa American say Joseph Hill Kwacha. Was it Udruwa, and I've been there. You will hear what blood stain. What is say moja head a bon wodenu even after so many years. So the torture that our people went through,
I think
and this causes and fought, which people put in place.
I think that
they put in place to benefit. We would, and they cannot go scot free.
We would really find time and
President Mahama reiterated some points there. Even in the US, there's some systematic attempt to erase the slave trade from their history. In some schools, deliberately use aspects from their curriculum.
That's it.
So it is something that I say about President Nabazo for such a significant victory at the international stage.
No problem. At the right time, you may be this conversation properly so called and that. Ben, morning.
Senior, morning. Biaboko.
Yamiado.
Yes. Facha mena meka bi break or Taifa Junction.
Sorry.
Aya akra amfa neja. They have a motor, I'm a bit do fast.
It's very unusual.
It's a very safe there.
Oh, my pushes filling station being to me. I grow up because
trouble for 1 year.
Oh, Yamiado, but the other
one pure one hour to man.
Oh, the select committee on, I think, is it public account committee or something? Assurance committee.
Yes, assurance.
So, Omo, I think it's Omo, year, it's a voter region, Omo, baby, Omo, year parliament.
Oh, okay.
Te honum no for almost be say a week ni te ho no obato ho ne ho ye pa yi menchi atrobo fo nyina na menua no no ka asem bi enra me bo president Mahama Baso wo Kesben TV dwumadie na odi ye no say ye bo na Baso because one thing na era Akufo-Addo started from 2023 or hinte saade no say SS ye bibi de fa ho na de say area president bae no waba betoa dwumadi a na ado danko Akufo-Addo hyase ama sese no aye the results e de amaye good thing but reparation na ye kan ho asem no eno no na be ye din say omo ne ye be ya adwen ye be ba because utie ne UK for kra ka almost say no no mo ba betu omo ancestors omo born ni ade ombedi ye ho ka nti no na je say ade no so we countries na benefit ya UK ka ho or ye major way yes na ono am making it clear say ono there enya de omo betu ya compensation bia mi wa wage atum say you've committed a crime sa ade na si ye no enya de ye papa okay, ono kra de wan to aba ni bi say dissenting no ka ho
ono wan to be
wan to and say abstain wan to
US for them to gainsi
nti nipa 26 no na you can count ho the 26 and
52 abstained
no but me pay voting na say 3 and anto aba
Germany, US
and Israel.
Oh, okay. So I think
Israel for the opposite
good thing. We are seeing na akra me ehu say nneema na omo de ye no ya de a enye papa and that now ye gusu face okwa racism a omo de omo hu ye say ye no omo ni class omo hu ye say sebe ye nye nipa ene ade a rekoso nti no ye bebo president Abaso na adwuma pa a waye e wo sa
ade no topic no say na ye mre no ko Shraj minority say in fact Ibrahim Mahama on the Damai issue no must they call minority force or they call stretch. Is it not an issue? It is a done deal or say and your manako. Knowing very well say since the inception of this country. In fact, nyanya mines kesiye biye wo Ghana ha owned by a Ghanaian.
That's a many problem. Ghana ni enso company epeja eboa dwumadi ombedi ni nyina no ade a eboa Ghana for na be yadwuma ho sika na obenya no dodo ni nyina enko outside ade e be ka wo mamu ha but you see sometimes the hypocritical nature of NDC no and ma issue bia questions marks eba ho den na every time bia Ibrahim Mahama ebenya intent ne so opese okọ into mining bia be NDC time edentia wadwen ho da say anytime bia na owo tirimopo e wa kwanya no say opeso or go into that venture no abra ni nua ye president nko a
ebra ne nua ye president ni yete
no o abra ni nua me ye president no ne yete ye about say no opeso de ne nyinanyini box site enyina ama ni nua at that time what the man no kura wie ye abra NDC MPP na Nado Danko Akufo-Addo bae a ye de court no and ebeda edi say even though kra wan call parliament for ratification e ma ye je say adwumadie no na contract no ye abrogate ye free nsem since that time the intent kra so o pese o go into that venture again no amaso biemu a till abra ni nua ba be president so always be on these two things and raise questions marks adentia na kanebone kura ne say office abra na this the amount for no contract company na no contract na NDM go face for no omo engineer for yi Ibrahim Mahama company no actually the comma omo so omo pese omo to a process so omo fam so they even wrote to the then minister Abujinapo ekobusa omo say company we so pese ye de sa dwumadie ne hye nsa na ye pese ye je waje ncho no so ono omu ni asem bia omo ye Ghana company registered omo ye competent into ono omu ni asem bia so if they want to start any negotiations bia na omo betimi start abra omo an start o kan sa ni wie ye no kra no omo ntimi an start ama negotiations na nkoso ye kan ye ni tete baya afa de ni nua ba president a autonomously wakwakwagye ade no e de aboso say oba ba che say vote voter friends ba ku ye wo vote black voter waje afa ye nkan hwe o sole ya wasa akọ da man so okọgye omomfa ma no na emom no we want to even check say the process no say conflict of interest bi ni mu dia strategy ma ye hu because yantiase say anytime bia na ne bra beba be ye president no and na say goodies contracts ni nyina juicy ones ni nyina ne nsaka enti we boni bi anim you say conflict of interest you smell conflict of interest enti say strage ye de asem aba beto hwehwemu say ekwaya Ibrahim Mahama yewura efa so a onya ne sa contract bibia anim dia then we should move on say problem wo dia then we all have to speak against it say enye se bia unua bi benya position a obefa sa position no so na wo dia obe make obe take advantage of unua ne position na wo dia nya bibia free because ye mra no kra kasatia enti boni bia ni mu ayaye ye pese pepepe ye eye adwuma ne ye hu say onya dwumadie no by merit a enkonko ba say because of ninua ye president enti na nsa be kan say dwumadie because enema bebre fa Ibrahim Mahama ho a ni nua be ye president a odwere ho a wonte ase 2012 unua be ye president and akoto jet private jet na nsan ya ye ka say unua sa ba be ye president wasa akoto private jet wodi e da bia je say unua ye president anzana watimi aye bibia ebeboa o man na ye behu say wonko ana je say ewiase ska nyina Ghana Euromas una wo ska ba wodi o twema unua e be ye president anzana what to play or that into wo mo Ghana fo nyire etie ne dwen ho a o mu hu say there's something fishy in this thing say what to play o first play na wo to ye unua John Dramani Mahama yewura eye president na wo to ye what na wa to susu sa apakiska na guo wantimi anto o second private jet abra na yewura Akufo-Addo ye president na ususu na nya nso ye afen na ususu na so abra wudua abeye president and wakwa akoto private jet biemu second time and then unua no body bonsri hehe mo ani gye mo honam pese mo ko Dubai akwaje mo ani a private jet unua bese mienko abra wo ye president unua no onye wo bona fide property biemu where the number one gentleman of the land ye Ghana for ye bona fide property yes ye protect no because of what private jet intino when he ha ho kra na so rewa no afre president say mo mienko ne enko gi yani sa na sase ye bu o man and president no nua no a o so obotom and the security aspect of the president no does it even make sense say president no obey use ni nua private jet and now say private jet bia na enye Ghana na sanction no obey use
na say private jet no use no Ghana Armed Forces na operate anytime bia the president
Ibrahim Mahama private jet president no Ghana Armed Forces kra na say use edientia
that be say obey Yusua said if the president is supposed to be on board, it is the armed forces that takes in charge.
but is it right say unia enti woni ni nua na ka ba omu top private jet na mi busa say ni nua no ni nua ye wura president Mahama ni nua ye Ibrahim Mahama private jet na ye omu mienu dia
Ibrahim na ne dia
enti Ibrahim Mahama dia die enti no no kofa Ibrahim Mahama private jet di tukwa at the expense of Ghana ye
uni bi
mini bi enti o person say Ibrahim Mahama on turn the private jet we ya na ka president tukwa ya onya
was a current
enti yesi e current because a conflict of interest or was say our private jet num what the say free president what the say free Ibrahim Mahama what the say free
I akasa otuaka
na enti ye sabi
we na woto
ada no won tofu wa num mu ma ni nua no se wonnua na apese obo no ho bai na apese no ho to no de a ada na wo ska Eromas Ibrahim Ghana Eromas a wo ska ada na wo mfu wa jet ne nsa ma nua no na won yusu na ye hu ne say yes obodi nua no ho bai into a won pese problem bi abeto no na wo ma ye kotofu we
no ama oba on sa secretary
obi asere se me oba ya ka kire se ye ntimi nkope ba ni bi wo ma ye ba dia no wasa ma ye ba bi a ye beda ne ye de aye adwuma ka ho because we ntimi nka so oba no kro de na check it time na re time because obi eni won ma wase na no monyum president Mahama waka tro se na no monyum no ntimi mpe oba na ye kra ye be pe oba ni bi di ama no because ye no ye president Ibrahim Mahama ese wo hu say President John Dramani Mahama boundary kese da woni ni ntamu o say wonu ne president me president ye tax ene ye ditua ye wura John Dramani Mahama ka enye Ibrahim Mahama ne tua ni nua ne ka enti won take decisions e ma Ghana fo nyina say me wo play be fa na tofu wegum tofu we nugum we se fu we ne bo ne ye cheap a na me wo ka obi dum wo ma wo ka wa do me because me boss ba ko se be fa cars ne o ni ba akoko me hwe mu a enam koyi vet o se unim nyansa na ka koyi V8 ka 3 months o salary na de betofu we because of fuel ne so expensive ntino and anim se fuel anytime bia no se fuel wo car ana se fuel wo plane enya dia service kra wo problem nti wontimi ntofu we anim mu ane ya feeling the tam wo de car ha no dubo abakra ne aka wo mu no na Ibrahim Mahama yuzu fuel ne ya feeling as a president ba ne aka wo mu no wato ana so wono so continue yuzu so I think say it's a legitimate cost for the minorities here be kwa petition strategy say that my project no on hwehwem na yenhwe because yenye Ibrahim Mahama ni conflict of interest no mama we instances be miensa a kire say obetime ne bra na ka bom aye ne ompa bi ade ati o man no nti esa strategy hwehwem nti o hwehwem maye
oyo
me da se na intentionally Michelle and I interjecting
intentionally
I want us to have a civil conversation this morning.
What
I say? So that's the
premise.
Martin, now that's MPP for lazy man's approach. Our opposition, the armchair opposition, Mwa. Omunya but tenomon kan kakra. Because it's becoming embarrassing. Eya ye ningwase the level of discourse MPP for a pushy. It's becoming embarrassing. Omunya but no, you see, opposition is about research. That opposition is idea to it can even travel more than 6 months because there's what concrete evidence backing every issue they raise here. Nti omunya but no mun kan kakra. Me ka say na ya mwanwa say anytime Ibrahim Mahama be involved in man and say anyway bia no time NDC wa bia na brother ya president. This is an unprecedented lie. Trofita na MPP for no. You see almost sa suban no sa dia anya no kro mutumi aka wan hwe ni wanyi obi wan chemu a e ba be ye no kre. The time say yentro ne say engineers and planners Ibrahim Mahama company, they were involved in mining activities in Damai since 2002. Non providing critical mining support services towards Goldfields.
That is right.
That
is different.
Me that. Or see, the only time I'm going to be time and you president.
No, I didn't say that.
Wait. Don't worry.
But it's all correct.
That's it. And to me, Chen say, almost started involved in dam activities, you know, and yet since 2002.
So these are two different things. There is you offering a mining support service to a company.
That's a better point.
And acquisition of that company. These are two things.
At a point, they became even subcontractors to Goldfields.
That is right.
Me establish a point, you know. 10 years pa. The entire NDP for didn't try. Again, first inquiry, to see whether so we be out of mining now started in 2022. That time Minjin say na President Mahama president. Inquiry to see say if they can take over started in 2022. Negotiations officially started in 2023. That time na President Mahama or Ifa. What was President Mahama? President Mahama and the NDC were in opposition by then. And to me, if he is coming here, he should be abreast with issues. Because then you buy the research work in Edinam. Again, that's it. The mobilization notice was issued on 4th September 2023. Say, Goldfields through their subsidiary, Goldfields Limited. Say, baby, we are not interested again in the Befi site war. Through a letter dated 4th September 2023. Satana President Mahama President Anna. And to me, Ube Janus or cancer man. I check your fact before you come here because I say you may expose you. You may go in Masi.
Okay, what deviate you crowd? Look, now.
Again, I say anytime Ibrahim Mahama move behind the new president. This is another lie. Look. No objection letter was written on 12 March 2024 by the then minister Samuel Abu Jinapo. Abu Jinapo yandisini. That should be so. Abu Jinapo say Ibrahim Mahama person talk the mine and not person take it over. We checking records we check with Ibrahim Mahama competent, and in the company, they are competent, they have the skills, they have the finesse, they have the dexterity to take over the mining. And you know, only be against you. So he stated that, he stated that in a letter dated 4th March 2024. IFN, no objection letter. That's my more chronology of events. The negotiation started here. And it just said, I'm better national, Ibrahim Mahama will take over now. So, you say, what's your man? So, what's your man? No one will be no better man. On bedin to add to foot to Ghana for any. But some of us yet is to do one way started now. Yeah, more kind. You better expose you. So, this is the genesis of the takeover agreement.
But it is also true, sir. Yes, the beginning of the acquisition of the mine did not start today.
Good.
But it is in the public domain today. When the no objection letter was signed, another Abu Jinapo,
what did the fact? The fact that it doesn't mean it didn't exist.
Nobody is saying so, but he is.
But he is telling us to say.
Obi anytime,
it is becoming an issue before.
It is because Satan and Ibra were bem.
That is why the propaganda. I didn't say Abu Jinapo letter and say what you have in your man. I don't want to take over mine. I didn't say man raising as an issue then. If indeed they are principled. I didn't say man raising issues then. Why now? Mona mo dia de na che nimpa to betumi ato. Mona mo dia che ne nsa say oh ye ni any objection against the deal. So you can go ahead and take over. MPP for na true Abu Jinapo I President Kufuor appointed no not trust a letter no. Inside the someone raise issues if indeed they are principled. I didn't want to raise issues then, and they are raising it now because it's a President Mahama is president, and you know they want to trace the narrative. On bottom tune futu egugana for any, and for us we not allow that to wash.
But would this not be a right call by the minority? Say we smell something. So scratch.
Anytime say lazy man's approach, they're on fishing expedition. You don't go to scratch. You don't go there to go and fish. You don't go there on fishing expedition mentality. You go there with allegations backed by concrete evidence. Before I say scratch, I did show you. And the own petition now, somebody kono, and somebody kono, hollow. Be nimu. Me say. I'm tell position no expose you amu. When on bottom of the bar bear me no 2028 no. This attitude.
And so you feel say they shouldn't have.
There's nothing.
If they
as someone have they been able to establish allege any wrongdoing on part of Ibrahim Mahama. Tell me, what's his conflict of interest? Reason your position, to influence something, or where a public officer's position is likely to what conflict with what his personal interest. Ibrahim Mahama.
Will you not admit that the brother is the president, and his brother is using his genius brother's flight, for which reason? So for which somebody can think that, oh, the fact say we use who brother Jetty or Pebibi or what. You'll find it very difficult.
Remember Gabriel Chedako, a Kufuor cousin. You were cooking the Kufuor to be a president. Also, one of the modern radio stations in Ghana, El Cantonment. And then I'm doing this for issues and never about President Ghana. There is this issue, no. This is the hypocrisy I had. Yeah, come on, our president's brother, AC, one of the modern radio stations. At the heart of cantonment.
By this one, you are comparing. No. Me tell hypocrisy. No. This is $70 million.
Again, it is the principle. It's not about the quantity, it's about the principle. I didn't say Gabi. Let me go for the president. I will see radio station. One question: if indeed they are principled. So it's not about the quantum. It's about the principle that you hold. That's it. On private jets. Or say, anytime Ibrahim Mahama better private jet be a time and you are president. Another bare-faced what lie. Meanwhile, you know, see, let me be charitable. So one knowledge in procuring what flight in jet and can only make it the kind of analysis in media this morning. Who got to play now? And yet say a tomato so a good chef for a and as a phone we are a camera and as a baby no, it goes through processes. Now we share Ibrahim Mahama jet we not tell now. The processes started as far back as what 2022. And you know, millions of name issues now. Sometimes
lie. You can't lie like that. It's
lie. That's it. Catch me. Jet. I'm going to see what I'm going to and I said, plane,
you put in an order.
You put in an order. And when was that order put in? What do you order to tomorrow? And take it less than 2 years for them to complete it for you. So this order was put in 2022.
No, but that also would not be accurate of an information because
that's it. Are you telling me, sir, President Mahama did order to
no.
Wait. I'm not. So it exposes the point he made. He said,
the example, at
the time,
Ghana,
at the time,
November.
At the time, no, Ghana, there is a special dispensation because of the agency. Let's not confuse the issues. They are giving us special dispensation because there was a problem, there was a crisis on our hands. What I said, the time Ibrahim Mahama ordered him to purchase the plane. Now, on dreaming President Mahama, Obiya names about President 2025. Now, but we didn't know the outcome. And they are saying, okay, what is he talking about? It's only issues now, and only maybe and some starting free now. You shouldn't come here and exhibit this kind of crass incompetence. No, we will not allow that word to fester.
That's
Or about
Minu ya semi okan kasa okan nyina wan kan kai.
Never second topic.
No problem on the share ne holo analysis and discussions I want make you a. Na minim say wo so oba be make facts and figures. Oba be ka bibi papa bi amagana fo atie ama na ba be di banking men sem na make na. He has end up disgracing himself. Or say enye first time wa ye wura Ibrahim Mahama akwa ana say oba be to oman agapade enye first time ebi asida ne say na order services to go face international say sa ne private work now oni go face for year no and none wodi making argument say we buy into the scene about be mining activities for memwa. Look at this. Hold on.
Don't allow
no say abra ni di ba bonten about mining hu some wo memu ha no me ka ho asem ne meboa because now run the services at the go face yes,
when the negotiations
now private business no and we Ghana for ho be.
So when you are running a private business to say bia or mining Emma Goldfields is here. Now say Goldfields war Dix mining concession. Now say lease now Goldfields say
in 2022
he will inform the minister say wait Pebium. A company that is working with Goldfields A&I being so Babetoa, then you will make that offer.
No, I'm saying say the argument and reference now make it doesn't hold because that time Ibrahim Mahama no a private business whether he has the capacity to do what Goldface is doing at that time no ono na semwa anya Ghana for asem because ada na wo capacity ni so obey adwuma na that time no still ano my line so oba be adwuma your private work na wo here with Goldface nti eno emfa Ghana for bia Ghana for ho say obey say adwuma no for 100 years and fire ho near fire who says ya ne say unua ba be president what show interest ewo da man gold you know what's all better and as all person ye hu adwuma ada na unua be president na won saka and I made mention to you say abra omo tire petition omo tire letter e de come abugina pon abugina bo ka say oni sa company ni asem bia anya sa nti won ko kan say oh mamu mumfa adwuma ne ma no because ye ne no problem because ni ya be president
Goldfields na de adwuma de be ma
no I'm saying
Goldfields na je wa ban ho
ena
nti Goldfields say won nye biom a it comes back to aban
yes ena
nti aban make the decision who na wo de tumu say who person or to a when the no objection letter comes it is to tell you say I don't have any reason why you cannot buy
quiet. Yes. And I make catch them say, or the betu mu wie ye no. Omo de ma president say, ya ho ode a ye de ye adwuma nasa. Nti say ni ye nya biem. Aban je wajapade. Enya sa na tie. And Ibrahim Mahama so up say wo pe.
And aban say o me ni reason why ntia me ntwe ntɔn ma.
And MPP. Oh, Charlie. You cried na won to bo asia. No but you be nya rebata. Wasam na wo kan na ho ankomo ne yedi.
Oh kasa.
And the MPP meboa. And your cancer until that time no doesn't mean say letter na bugina portrait actually say the contract na Ibrahim Mahama. So why is he talking about?
But so he tells you say after that no objection letter no, there have been series of
negotiations. One time
and negotiations.
Abujirapo made it clear at Parliament. Say apart from the letter now, or you see here or they catch almost no many problem. There was no any information about that thing about Nanimubium.
Yes.
But so me say letter no tray and it doesn't guarantee engineers and planners so on coffee Japadia no.
Yes.
And so why na dia Japadia na man is here? Yeah, kasa why na de Japadia na ma Ibrahim Mahama sisi ya. Kasa na mi tie. And na ban na dia man why na ye president. Enye ni nua. Me pato enye ni nua. Enti wunua aba be ye president no de Ghana Japadia ma na ye ka ho asem a what you say no run the services at the ma go face enti eno no establish the fact say ye de adwuma na man dada dansa na ni nua Mahama be ye president. What kind of this bogus sorry I don't know what asem na tire Ghana I see so person say Ghana for ni nyansa and lastly me pato President Mahama Ninu Ibrahim Mahama the first play on the Dabe and 2012 November 2012 Sata na one na president and your man Penny John Dramani Mahama Sata mo na ye Tamasi wu ye no Sata mo ama me president and san the other 2012 abe you know Ninu na president and then me no ka say what said that
said the order was done
I know nya masam o ye ne me so kra na me si ninu Sata na ninu so ye vice president and ameboa time o order play na mfa Ghana for hu e time a yate se wato play and the matter Ghana time a wo koko order wo play e ko putu hin se wo to play no wa mebo Ghana for amane and I want to say Ibrahim e the letter to say o to play 2022 what e the wo de say ye ne say yes Ibrahim Mahama koto private jet aba eno na Ghana for hu e ba ya bra ni nua ya president and na play na ba enti esese ye twetwem se ni nua no kra no ni sika nka ho a eno na me ka kire no esese ye twetwem se ye wura president Mahama enye so omo anka mom ana say eye so ni nua no nkwa na to play no ye kwa twetwem because president Mahama there play assembly aba no bom wo kai say ye nua your first former attorney special prosecutor eye Martin Amidu obeka o Ghana ha say president ye so man so won koto play la kroti twobo na uni ha that home o ama de how many time me time no de aduma
yes memre
enti play bia ye to wo mamu bia president John Dramani Mahama ya na no ho bom enti ni nua ni play no ye korhwem se no ho bom a because enti me fa wo nua ni play to say Benz na wo ko ba bia na de ko last topic no say dey ya sa wo de me di bom wo ba no ono so afa ni na
so source no contract
that's it mamu hayet yenka no kure kakra na politics aye no ka no kure wunwu yenka no kure na yenya justifications aye wo mamu a dabe na wote wo krom ha no ma ye hu say so source demonic so source enya the power mamu a dabe na ate ye na okujeto abrakwa no waka NDC manifesto committee woye member waka woni Captain Smart sure woye wo Adum TV say omo di ahye wo manifesto no mu say omo ba be amend procurement act no na ye so source every ye nhihye ye num because so source no eno ne ye fa so di bu o man no eno ne ye fa so di gya o man no ye wia o man na japade wo kan no opposition ena Ghana fo nya o mu gidie say wasem na wo kan e make sense because mo akire mo am ye hu say so source no ye de fa so wia o man ni sika enti saade na sa oba na be yi afiri wo de a ye beto aba de amount ena Ghana fo akoto aba de amount say ye mpe so source asem bi atie biem wo ba ya ene so source nko a wa ma ba ko 44 so source 44 e de ama NDC apalaches ene wo mo ye adwuma no abra anko tender process ama ye ya mimi say me wo capacity na metimi aye road enso man teda say ya bie se obi na betenda say brabe ye road metimi aye road o man kan kire me ene wo mo de akwa say NDC party office ene wo mo kuku contract no e de ama NDC for based on so source ye ka ho asem a wo mo ka kire ye say so source no ye mram no e legal na satam na do danko akufu adote so no na so source e illegal wo mamu a principle sometimes no ma won semo a wo ka no Ghana fo nya gidie wo mu say wo ka no kra wo ye honest person wo nya dishonest ba bia akodu sesi ano ye wura John Dramani Mahama wa ye dishonest ye wura road minister ono kra de ne dishonest no ka bomu asetie ni on sem fatampo kra so obeye road minister ada na mo ye sa mo tete wo man no se ye me no ka say enkwala esu empanifo osu teacherfo osu nursefo osu Ghana adwumayefo osu NDC full soldiers sunsu oman nu ayeden adai won ko adai
that you are speaking for 10 minutes
six that you me time
six argument and pay enya chese
that's a tenable
argument and pay nya chese all but one prepare
there me ka be say okram
because Mr. Clear me ka chese adwuma na engineers and planners eyema Goldfields. Now, when the first inquiry for acquisition was started, which is, I gave you all the dates here. The first inquiry for acquisition started in 2022 under President Kufuor. Yeah. What I said, no objection letter, 4th March letter, no, was written by Abu Jinapo. and the MPP
that
say obetumi ato oni
asembia obetumi ato na what draw wakasa obetumi ato
asa I said no objection me ni asembia kan ho so obeto me ni asembia kan ho what does that mean so many no so one prepare no ba na pay you should admit it go back
and read this note and come to
let's today let's don't do that
as I tell the sikan
oh don't do that Charlie
kasa
yes I will say program
as na do my yaw kakra nya hwe so time
enti many no ni masam moka jet and as a plane to no meka to say anya tomato ko madin na dwuma ko ya no akoto bi no nti so ntiasia onko ready about processes in procuring what planes non coming back now so sourcing MPP issue pan is say okasa ye or to make sure any impropriety on the part of the NDC what me here and you catch say lazy mass approach no one or can so sourcing one some gonna have first go and check 23rd August 2016 President Kufuor Street. Also, the era of source sourcing what will end. This is President Kufuor in opposition.
Obiante.
Also Obiante. Won't so. Satam no more mampa monte. And so that is why that is where the argument about source sourcing started. That's it. Oba, you know, it became the norm rather than the exception. Now, Semi Jenfi, debi ayo bu koti Semi Jenfi, say Semi Jenfi. Is it about say yeah can say so sourcing and yentino and then you kebi? Is that the discourse? Yeah, discourse in the say there were some wrongs. The prices were over the contracts were overpriced. And the point of specific contracts. To say sunyani rehabilitation, edwana wadma ba omienu to say Cocoa Rose.
Got a laptop 25,000.
I'm to be point even one single contract
25,000
figure no ya double
laptop 25,000.
Listen to share and that press conference at MJF no was mounted on what evidence by the Auditor General. That's it. Me dey no look. I'm all the time in Yama. I say say MJF okasa no. I say but what is even more worrying for which reason we call this press conference is that the project they are awarding to Baumia's company were not only awarded through sole sourcing, but the project. Oh, Master, listen. No, I'm quoting. Yes, Baumia's Brothers Company. Baumia's brother. Baumia's brother company were not only awarded through sole sourcing, but the projects were inflated and have occasioned the state huge financial losses. I am not the one saying this. The Auditor General, unquote, Sami Jenfi. Now look, this is what the Auditor General said. And you know, me say omunya tam no mun read kakra. Omunya tam. Indeed, paragraph 65 of a performance audit by the Auditor General on the construction of Cocoa Rose revealed that Cocoa Board, and I am not quoting the Auditor General. I'm coming. I say, and I am quoting the Auditor General. Cocoa Board did not rigorously analyze its procurement options for value for money, but sought approval from PPA for single sourcing and illustrated tendering. That's procuring contracts. That's procuring contracts which were up to 3 times more expensive than they could have obtained in true competitive bidding. Auditor General said, MP before sourcing the money no. Now the prices were doubled and as a quadrupled, tripled 3 times of the market value. And no, the basis upon which Sami Jenfi mounted the criticisms against what sourcing. And then what is the position? Our mountain argument on them. It's on nothing. What the hell can say argument of 360 when Trump went and just said that contract way price na doubled, another it has been quadrupled, another it has been tripled.
Coming show.
One time I'm Boba Kumbo. But Sami Jenfi catch out say Cocoa Board contract on the man according to Auditor General. Auditor General Kufuor and say you know. So prices na Kufuor no ba me the man ni no na ya about 3 times. And no General say when Trump point out ba Kumbo. And you mention the yaka say is he opposition no. It should be driven by research. And yet what's with them no concord bibi.
Okay.
And me conclude Plato Kasembi. And I think sir MPP are giving credence to what Plato said. So when it comes to public discourse and decision making running of a country, it should be left to what? To the philosopher king. Because according to Plato, no, philosophers or when him or they take decisions. Now they should allow the philosophy kings and MPP to lead the conversation than the Amuye. Because Kofubo when people win him there. Press conference the second. I didn't see the former minister for roads, our institutional memory of the sector. 100 press conference no. That you have vetted the man to that.
There is a ranking member on that committee.
A home minister or somebody who was a minister. In the former administration. The second no 100 or more press conference. Because when you said the Omokano, I entro and Obaka, you be exposing no. Because we are not contractor, I have you more expensive than the Omokano. Now, Papa, no, address a press conference to say Yakuno and so research kakra. Now, sometimes because no, or the money for full disclosure when the contract has been published on the website. And so I am reading kakra.
I was here, my infancy.
No problem.
My infancy.